Right. So sorry for the issue. Now start from the our inventory. A lot is a specific page of goods, store or shipped item from your inventory or a warehouse. And a lot is materials, so we can manage our items and the materials using the lot, right? So now the lot control is give you the power to track the item in your warehouse, and we can say that in your inventory. So in other words, we can say that the lot represent the quantity of item produced together. So let's take an example of like a soft drink, like a soft drink manufacturing company. So when a soft drink can, when a bottle and a can, so can company manufacturing a batch of soft drink, and the entire batch is called a lot. When a manufacturing company manufacture a cool drink and a soft drink, then the entire batch is called as lot, and each lot has a unique identity lot number. And the lot number is the code of identifying the expiration date of all the products from a specific lot in our inventory organization. So when a soft drink can come into your warehouse, all these can, and you can say that the bottles are still tight at the same lot in your application, right? So hope you understand what is the lot and lot controls. Is nothing but control and the locator control. So this is our application and this is our implementation user. So first we have to uh, check the parameter of the lot control. So let's go to this. Let's click on setup and maintenance. Us, right? So we have to go to our inventory, right? So we have the manage inventory organization, right? So we have the inventory organization, go with the product management, search for our inventory 001 CTL, right? So select our record and click on this manage organization parameter. So we have the prefix. So what kind of prefix you want to uh, define for this lot number? Suppose we have the data roller bearing, right? So these are the prefix, and you can also define the line go with the default value, right? So Click on this save and close. So these are the parameters we have to define for this lot control functionality. Let's see how reflect on our item, your application. So let's create one item. So how can we create? So click on this navigator, go to the product management. The product management, go to the product information management, and let's create one item for the lot control functionality. Right. Click on this task list, click on those create item. Let's select our item master, have our item class, that is, let's search data is our item class, still pairing. Let's take the template. We have the finish good. Okay. Let's define the description over here. So I'm going to enter pairing go to the association and define this item to our child inventory organization. So 001 is our inventory organization. Select the record and go to scroll down. So these are the basic steps we have already done in our previous sessions. So how to create item and how to define the item to our child inventory so that we can perform the transaction, we can create the on-hand quantity in our sub inventory, right? These are the basic uh, steps we have already seen in our previous session. And in our upcoming session, we have, whenever we create the item, we have to perform these steps, right? So we have the specification. Under the specification, we have to define our lot information, how to generate the lot, right? Go to the inventory. You can see this is the lot, right? So how to define the starting prefix, starting number, and the whole date, and the life shelf life stays, right? Expiration actions. You can define everything as per your requirement, right? Suppose we have the starting prefix, right? Suppose we have the lot, the score, we have the data bearing, right? and you can also define the starting number. Let's define starting number 100, 101, right? And you can define the control. What is your control, like item shelf 5 days and user define expiration date. As per your requirement, you can define the control, how to control your lot, right? These are the basic information. Let's click on this save and close. Our item gets created successfully. Transactions, we have already seen how to create the miscellaneous transactions in our previous sessions. Let's click on this navigator and let's go to the supply chain execution. Go to the inventory management. Under the inventory management, we can create the miscellaneous transactions. Click on this miscellaneous transactions. Let's define our organization. 001 is our organization. Click OK. So the item is recently created. So there is no on-in quantity of this item in our application, right? So let's this is the miscellaneous receipt, so that we can create the on-in quantity of this recently created item. Tapper bearing. Let's click yes. This is our current item cost. Click on this create icon in transactions line. Select our item. Data is not for description. You can see the tapper bearing is our one. Okay. You can see the revision code. Right. Let's select our inventory. Sub INV1. Right. And the available quantity is 0. You can see, right? So and the locator is also disabled. So when we will see the locator control in our application, at that time it will enable, because we have to perform some basic steps. We have to define the parameter for this locator. So let's leave this one, and we have the quantity. So let's define our quantity, like we have the 50 quantity, right? And let's define the count. Right. Right. So we don't have any options to create the lot number on this page, right? So I think we have not defined it, right? Let's check one more times the item. So let's go to this one and click on this not enable. Let's cancel out. Now let's go to the product management, go to the PIM. Click on this, click on this manage items. Right. So let's search our item. So we have the table and this is our organization. So click on this item. Right. So to the specification. Click on this inventory. The lot controls disable because actually this is the inventory. This is 001 is a definition inventory. So we have to define on the definition level. So let's define the item. Let's define the lot underscore TB, right? And we have the starting number is 101. Let's save this one and let's check. Not sure. Yes, done. And let's create one miscellaneous transaction. Click on this task. Click on this create miscellaneous transactions. Select the type. Miscellaneous receipt. Let's create a line, transaction line. Let's select our item. Chapel pairing. Let's select sub inventory. See, the generate lots gets enabled, right? Let's define the quantity. We have 50. This is lot, right? Let's define first account. After that, we go to the this is our account combination, right? So the lot is generated by clicking on this generate lot, right? So select the record and click on this generate lot. It will generate a lot number. You can see this is a lot number, and I'm already defined the lot specification is Tata roller bearing, and it will start with the 2001, right? So this is a lot number. Let's define the quantity again. Suppose we have select the same item for the multiple lot. Let's see how it's possible or not. Step tap bearing. Now first we have to define the sub inventory. We don't have the multiple records over here. Let's take the quantity again, 50, and let's take the account. See, the lot and serial number gets enabled over here. Let's take the account. Right. So if you want to generate a single lot number, so in that case, we have to select the record and click on the generate lot. And if you want to generate the multiple records, so in that case, select the record and click on the lots and serial number. And we have generate the single lot, and we can generate also the multiple. So number of lots, suppose we have the two lot, and how much quantity you want to define per lot. I'm going to define 25, right? And what is the reason? I'm a supplier lot, right? You can define also here. Click OK, right? So we have the two lot and the quantity and the supply lot inventory, and we have the dates. What is the origination date, what is the retest date, hold date, right? So let's click on this. Okay, right, click submit. A transaction process with no issue. Now let's check the item quantity in our organization with the lot number. Let's search. So initially this, right. So initially this item have don't have any on in quantity. Now after performing the miscellaneous transaction, it will quantity with the lot number. Right, this is our item Tata 1003. Let's expand it. This is our organization, again expand it. This is our sub inventory having the 100, and you can see the lot number over here, right? This is Tata roller bearing 2001 and all that, right? So in the first one we have the 550 quantity, and rest of the two we have created the multiple lot, and under this multiple lot we have defined the 25 and 25 quantity over here, right? So this is all about the lot number and how can we perform the to our next topic. This is revision control, right? So a revision is a version of an item. Suppose we take an example of a mobile company. We have the company like Apple. Apple have the iPhone, and iPhone have the multiple version, right? We have the multiple version like we have the iPhone. So we use the revision control to track the item quantities by the item revision number, right? And we can use the letter, number, character to define the revision number. Let's take one an example of the revision control and revision numbering. Suppose in our application we have the roller bearing, right? So under roller bearing we can define the version 1, 2, 3 and 4. Version 1 have the cylindrical roller bearing, we have the needle roller bearing and the tapper bearing, right? We have the different type of versions in a single roller bearing, right? In the item 1003. So we will create one item uh, in our application, and we'll see the revision functionality, right? So before creating an item we have to define some basic steps setups like first we have to set up the revision control at the inventory level. In our previous topic in a lot control we defined the lot. In the same way we have to define the revision control setups in our application. After that we have to create the item and create the revision for item, and we have to enable the transaction at the same ways in previously topic in lot control, right? So let's start with the setup of the revision control. So let's move to the instance. Right. Implementation project first, and we have to set up the revision control at the inventory level. Go to the setup and maintenance. Click on this task list. Go to the implementation project. Click on this project, and we have to search. The task name is manage inventory organization. Manage inventory. Go with the product management. And we have the manage inventory organization. Go to the task. Search our organization. Select the record and click on this manage organization parameters. So this is our inventory organization, and you can also say that the child inventory organization is the physical inventory organization, right? And our item master organization is operation, right? So what is the behavior of this item group? So this is a definition organization, right? So when you're defining the revision in our inventory organization, at that time we have to define our revision at the definition organization level, right? We have to, our grouping, the item grouping, we have a must the definition. In our previous session, we have seen that our child inventory organization and the physical inventory organization have the item grouping behavior is reference, because this inventory organization is totally dependent on the item masters, because the item is defined in item master, and the item master give the permission and give the information and give the permission to the our child inventory, so that our child inventory can access our item from the item master. So in the revision, concept, and the starting revision is a, suppose let's start with the define the T for the Tata, right? Let's save and close, and let's create the item. Done. So let's go to the product information project management, product information management, so that we can create the item for performing the revision functionality. Click on this task list. Let's wait for a while, get refresh. The page is not responding. Please wait. Click on this navigator, click on this product information management, click on this task, click on this create item, let's select our item master. Now this is item class, we have to select our item class. Now let's select the template. Okay. Now let's create one more type that is like uh, the bearing bearing 22 like, right? Right. Now let's define the revision is A right now. Now go to the association and let's associate this item to our child inventory organization. select this detail. Let's click on this. Now this item is added to the child inventory organization. Let's first save and close. Can go to the manage item. Search our item. Let's go with the our inventory level, child inventory level, right? And you can see the revision changed to our data. Previously it was A, now it's changed to T, which is we defined in our previous setup. Now let's start the uh, revision control. So let's click on this action and click on this manage revision. Right, now let's define a different version for this single item. Suppose we have the item data 1004 and the name is roller bearing 22. Under this item we have the multiple version. So what kind of multiple version? Suppose we have the cylindrical, we have the spherical, we have the spherical roller bearing, right? And you can define the reason that is a quality improvement, and we have the effective date over here, and we can also define the change order. Let's add one more. You can define the revision code is T1, T2. Let's define the description over here is cylindrical bearing. We have a T2. Right. Now define the same, and the effective date is tomorrow. Right. One thing we have to define at the specification level of this item. Suppose this is our item at the inventory level, and under the specification we have to enable one thing. Under the inventory we have to enable the revision control. Yes, right, we have to perform the revision control over here. Now you can save and close. Right, now you can perform the miscellaneous transactions as per the previously lot control we have created, right? Let's click on this task list. Click on this navigator. Click on this navigator. Go to the supply chain execution. Click on this inventory management. Now go to the task list. Click on this create miscellaneous transactions. Now select the type, miscellaneous receipt. In the same way, this item, this newly created item, don't have any on-hand quantity. Let's create the transactions so that it will create the on-hand quantity for this newly created item. So this is our roller bearing. Okay. And you can see the revision code is the input data is we defined earlier. Right. And under this item, you can see the revision gets enabled, and you can select what kind of revision you want to define for this item. Suppose we have the item and we have two type of revision. So I'm going to define the first one, spherical. Uh, Spherical roller bearing is the T, and we have the sub inventory 71, and at the end we have to define the code, this mandatory field. Hundred quantity for this first version. Let's add one more for the second version and see what are the impact. Okay, so the 100 quantity for the version 1 is T. Let's add one more for the same, and at that we have defined the version 2 as this data. Right, Let's select our item. Right. So let's select our second revision. Let's select this sub inventory. Suppose this item goes to our second sub inventory, right? The different version have the different sub inventory. Suppose we have the 50 quantity, and we have the last one is account, right? Right, no issue. Let's click on this submit. Your transaction proceeded with no issues. Let's check the on-hand quantity with their revision. Click on this task list, click on this manage item quantities, search by the item name, it take time. Search for the item number. Right, let's select our item, click OK, search for the item. Right, so on-hand quantity is 150. Sub inventory 1 having the 100 quantity and the sub inventory 2 having the 50 quantity. Right, let's expand it. You can see the revision T2 and revision T. Again expand it, and you can see the sub inventory 2 having the 50 and the sub inventory 1 having the 100 quantity, right? So this is how you can perform this revision control in our application, right? In the same way, less number of quantity, but your application showing the more and the extra quantity, right? So go to this one. Right, so in today's session we have covered, and in our previous session we covered the serial number, right? So under the controlling, we have the last one is locator control, and you can say the stock control. We will cover in our next session, right? So this is all about what today's